Oh man, we get so strong.
Imagine how strong we get a cringes being stuck in the ledges.
Double dino to micro printer.
Motherfucking love.
You better be on your best fucking behaviour.
I hate you, Pete. I hate you.
Better be on your best behaviour.
I hate you.
Hey guys, welcome to Belly Hanging, the best climbing podcast in the world by two very average climbers. We don't know what we're doing. We're very average. My name's Pete.
My name's Daniel Average Winterbear.
Average?
Daniel Average Winterbear, yeah.
How are you, Dan?
Average, distinctly average.
We've already said that.
Do you know what, man? I am awesome.
Are you?
Yeah, well, one, we're sat in a really nice little space.
This is incredible.
That's come together as like the official Barely Hanging studio, which is... This used to be my toy room when I was a kid.
Really?
I used to play toys in here.
Did you? What toys did you play?
I had my Action Pete.
Action Pete? What did you do with Action Pete?
I had to take all his clothes off.
Oh no! All his clothes?
He had such a smooth bit.
That's creepy,
yeah,
man.
It's creepy.
Did you play with Kinects?
No, Connects. You
Yeah,
kidding? Where
I
the fuck
love
are you
Kinects.
from? You're 10 years younger than me. Connects. We had Lego, wholesome Lego.
Yeah, I believe with Lego. Did you play with Mega Blocks?
Connects.
Mega Blocks was like
good.
poor man's Lego, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Connects was like rich man's Lego, and Technic was like
Technic?
wow. Technics is the super fancy Lego.
Oh my god, I never heard of Technic.
Never lived, brother. Well, thank you for asking how good I am.
Yeah, good.
I'm great.
Good.
You great? You
I'm
good?
great. Like, I'm the same situation as you right now. We are in this very lovely room that we have now deemed as our recording
We've nested.
studio. We've got a nice table. I feel like I'm actually talking to you man to man now, whereas before it was child to child.
Yeah.
We've got a plant on the table. How
That's
adult is that?
That's very
lovely
adult.
plant. Have you smelt it, man? It smells like peas. Go on,
Never
give it a whiff.
smelt It's,
I know it's out of the way of the mics, but just give it a whiff. Be careful though. It smells like peas, right? All right.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It smells like peas.
Are they peas?
No.
What are they?
It's some sort of like Mexican weed or something. That I don't know what the fuck it's called.
You bring it back from Mexico?
No, it's like Ladies Millions or something.
Oh, okay.
Ah, well,
It's nice though.
That's my horticultural hour done.
Okay. Hour.
Hour, yeah.
Quick hour, that man.
Boom, knock it out.
Yeah, well, hour goes by when you're having
When
fun.
you talk about horticulture, I love hoes
Yeah, but
and
man-
culture.
Hose culture.
Horticulture.
Boy, I'm multicultured. The holes of the culture. Anyway,
How
I'm
are your
great.
fingers?
My fingers are pretty sore today. You know what? It's weird. So we've been climbing outside today, and the outside of my fingers hurt more than my fingertips because I've just been scraping them against the rock, moving
day.
for things. It's been a very scrapey day today.
Very scrapey. Don't want to tell
Where we've been?
Where did we?
I don't think so.
Actually,
You know what? These guys, they listen way too much. I want to hear more about them.
Oh, I do.
How are you guys?
That's the best.
Oh my god.
So that was beautiful.
That's the best segment, isn't it?
Yeah.
We
Listen
should
to them.
listen to the audience.
This is listening here.
So
with
just
Dan and Pete.
just an hour of us silence. Just
Yes, I agree. Yes.
yeah, every 10 minutes.
Have you ever thought about not doing that? It's quite dangerous. Well, anyway, our adventure started last night when he came to see me, and we turned my banister into some first ascents.
Oh my gosh!
After watching quite a lot of footage of Johnny Dawes.
Johnny Dawes,
just being Johnny Dawes.
So Johnny Dawes is a well-famous British climber, like old school, like back in the day sort of thing. He's very strong, very dynamic climber. You look at him now; he's like.
He's like an older man.
40, 50, and you wouldn't expect, like, he doesn't look out of shape or anything, but you wouldn't expect him to have been one of the greatest, like, dynamic climbers that has ever sort of existed, and very pushing the limit on, like, what's normal and what climbing is, being very abstract on the rock.
Quite.
It's really
abstract.
cool.
It's cool, isn't it?
Very inspiring to be creative and just weird outside. But yeah, so the first time I'd ever seen anything about him was I was watching an Alex Honnold video with Alex Honnold in the Welsh Slate of Llanberis. It's a brilliant little 5-minute video that BMC did. And basically it's Alex Honnold it's 5 minutes of Alex Honnold like climbing very hard as he always does, but being very unimpressed with
Climber's slate.
Yeah, with like British climbing.
Yeah.
He said basically it's a cool little own thing, but he would never come because
He wouldn't recommend it.
Spain is around the corner and there's so many big walls over there that are great, which is just funny. But Johnny Dawes is in that, and there's a brilliant bit where he's like, what does he say? He says Alex Honnold's, he's a really strong climber and his style is very survivalist. He's probably even better than Bear Grylls even. The way he says it is so funny. And he's completely dead serious and he's like joking around. It's just amazing.
He's not joking.
He's not joking. But so that was the first time I'd ever seen Johnny Dawes in anything. So yeah, and then you basically opened my eyes to how much of a madman he is.
So between his no hands movement at the moment, which he still is fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's inspired me just to run and jump around stuff.
Yeah.
Like so, we do the dickhead block.
Yeah, that's been your thing for a little while now.
So just run and jump up a climb.
Yeah.
So like I've done a few of them now, but then I was in Clamberis up in the satellite boulders near Wavelength in Utopia. With the Wizard this week.
The Wizard.
And then so we wandered around all these small boulders having a fucking cool day.
Yeah.
And then
where exactly is it in Lamberis?
So up the pass, Penny
It
Pass.
is
on the
up
way,
the valley
way.
on the way to the car
halfway
park.
up to Penny Pass.
Oh, it's about halfway.
Yeah, it's got cromlech boulders on, right next to the road. The famous things, Jerry's Roof.
Yeah, yeah. I do know those.
So just before that, you've got all these boulders littered down. So one of them is two famous ones, Wavelength and Utopia, can be seen very clearly from the road. Then there's Pie Shop and these other big boulders. They go further and further up the side of the mountain.
How much of an approach is it?
This one wasn't bad.
No.
This was probably like, because we had to park a little bit further down, summer holidays a bit busy.
Yeah, of course.
And so, blah, 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 we wandered, we got up there, had a boss day, just climbing around with the Wizard.
Yeah, you told me about it. It's just absolutely amazing. Like, he's one of those characters that gets you up a lot of things because he just knows what to tell you, basically. Yeah.
And like, so, we get to this massive rock, which I had never seen, but I've read in the book a lot, and you need to see it, and we will go see it ASAP.
Yeah, Utopia. That's the rock.
It's fucking massive.
Just a huge bus, basically, like double-decker bus of a rock, huge.
And on like time scale, we were going pretty soon, so we had a few. Okay. Owen did the classic.
You felt a bit rushed there.
Oh, we were. We were going. No, we were going.
Oh,
like,
it was like the last rock.
Yeah, this was it. Like Owen has to go back and work, so it was like
baker, innit?
Fucking mad.
The bread won't bake itself.
But imagine if we needed more bread, how strong our hands would be.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's the key. It's not
if
climbing.
We needed it, I needs the bread. I need it. I want it.
Why did the Wizard have brown hands?
Why?
Because he needed a poo.
He needed it with his hands.
So we get this big fucking rock anyway, and then I've never really looked at this type of thing before. And there was a Johnny Dawes climb on it. Yeah,
so first of all, when you told me about this, it's so cool that in the guidebooks, there's a little J next to it, which means it's a Johnny Dawes climb. He set
awesome.
it. And what the J means is it's basically running and jumping at the rock, or it's like a no-handed thing. It's just a weird fucking way of getting up the rock. So, yeah, carry on anyway with the beta of that.
I'm going back for it, but I didn't even try. Well, I ran at the rock just to feel it and then to cross it. It's like, it's not impossible, but it's mad.
Yeah.
He's like a
So
phenomenon.
what is it?
So, it's about... There's 3 climbs, and I don't think they're graded, but they're just called J1, J2, J3. So you run and jump onto this quite high. It's probably about 1.5 meters up, maybe higher. Very small square block. You
jump onto a boulder first.
Off a boulder, onto this tiny...
So you run, jump onto a little, like a boulder that you use as a step to hit the main wall.
Yeah, straight at the wall.
Yeah.
So, and I tried to find footage of it after it, and I can't find anything. So I do think it's pretty fucking niche.
People rarely do this shit, really.
So basically I want to go with a few pads. Yeah. Because the landing's not terrible, but you'll fuck your ankles up. Yeah. Well, anyway, you just look at the fucking book and you're like, oh my god, the thing I love doing at the moment is running and jumping at boulders, and this man has obviously done fucking tons of them around the country.
It feels like it's the beginning of a
thing,
like a new obsession. Like listeners might know how much we love Magnus Mitbo. Just like we love him, but this feels like a thing. Like,
I want to go see all these guys.
I want to meet
climbs.
him, but I also want to do all of what he's doing. Like when we're watching Magnus, it's like we're just awe-inspired about how strong his fingers are.
Yeah.
But this stuff is different. It gets me really excited about trying like a weird thing with no hands or just like doing like. Do you see him do a 360 dyno?
Yeah.
So he jumps and then just spins in the air 360 before he catches the hold. Just weird shit. It's completely unnecessary. It's a foolish pursuit, but
to cut him, the whole thing is.
It's just amazing. It's just so
the whole
much
pursuit
fun.
of climbing is
weird,
unnecessary.
Yeah, it's a cool one.
There's no necessity to it.
Very inspired by him. Anyway, so we went to Pex today
with the Wizard.
With the Wizard of Pex.
We got there at 12 o'clock and we left there at 7.
Big day.
We had a 7-hour Pex session.
And it was one of those sessions, I said to you at the end, it wasn't... I've had sessions at crags before. It tends to be newer crags, like new crags that I've never been to before, where you have a day and you feel like it's like a success story, the day is.
Yeah.
Because you basically go there, you knock out 4s, you knock out 5s, you knock out 6s, and then you leave and you've topped out millions of different things, and you're like, I'm the best climber in the world. This one was a grittier session, lots of ups and downs, shutdowns. Just because we've been there a lot, you especially, you've been there triple the amount of times as me recently, just because you're like you're off all the time basically, which well, not all the time, but your days off allow you to do it. Anyway, but because we've done all the easy stuff, like I warmed up on the crack. That super easy crack that's lovely, and then the one next to it did quickly warm up. But other than that, we didn't dabble in anything easy. We just went straight to the stuff that we were sort of projecting.
Fat neck.
So fat neck.
So we did.
That was a doable thing.
3 climbs, and then today we got rained off
twice,
2 times. Maybe I don't know, 2-3 times, and we just stuck it out.
Yeah. We just sat under a tree.
It paid dividend, didn't it? Sticking it out.
Yeah, it did, because we had an amazing day because of it. Yeah, like so. Maybe the first time it rained, we sat out for about 15 minutes, and I remember when it got really heavy, we were like if it keeps raining in like 10 minutes, we're just kind of go. And then it just sort of started slowing down. Before you know it, it's back out, and then literally we were dynoing on a tree, messing around to warm ourselves back up. Just as we warmed up and touched a rock again,
fucking rain.
Just started raining straight away, so we sat that out again. But then the Wizard turned up and...
Well, I think the thing you were getting at was like today wasn't about winning.
No.
Today was about training.
Learning. I've learned so much today. Yeah.
Body movements, footwork.
Yeah. All of it. Just sticking it out as well.
Huge.
Just sticking it out when you don't particularly want to be there, and this it sounds bad because obviously we all love climbing, but there's going to be times where you're just not super game to be outdoors and be pulling because everything's hurting. But it's rewarding to stay out longer and just to do those extra few, and that's when it's so important to have friends around you that bring the psych.
Oh yeah, we bring the psych for each other. We do.
Out. Like I was leaning on you towards the end today. But I know that I can't ever say no. If you go, like there was a time like when you were like,
let's go do
towards
that.
The end, you're like, right, let's go look at the Hearts of Ret. And I was like, man, I would have never suggested to go and look at Hearts of Ret. But as soon as you suggest it, I can't say no because I know we'll have a good time on it. And like, I know I just feel bad now, but once I get a little bit psyched and we're making moves and things, it's completely different. So we did Hearts of Ret, and then we were like thinking about going to the game wall.
Pink game wall, pink blue wall.
Yeah.
But that's when it was like...
We'd been there 7 hours at that, and Hearts of Ret destroyed us, man.
Oh yeah, and like
very fingery, wasn't it?
We need someone to teach us that.
Toey as well.
It's toey. Very toey.
Yeah,
so today we've had a fucking massive day.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, it quite nicely brings us on to topic of the week in some ways, doesn't it? So, should we jump onto that?
I wanted to.
Oh, were you going to do that?
No.
What were you going to do?
I was going to ask you about your day.
About my day? We just said about my day. Loved it.
I think because like you've got projects now.
Oh, yeah. All right, then.
That's a bit of what's happened today.
It's a good point, actually. So, yeah, today it was...
So you just spent 7 hours at Pex Hill, and basically you said...
I topped out 3 times. I completed 3 climbs, but I've spent 7 hours there.
Getting projects, yeah.
So there's 2 mainly now that, for me, are, like, going to go. Silly Boy and the Crucifix.
So, awesome fucking climbs.
Yeah, both are very cool. You've done Silly Boy. You've, in fact, potentially, I wouldn't say mastered, but you've got it solidly now. Like, you were trying to climb up it, around, back down, back to it, all with it not coming off, and then back up it. Like, and it's a hard climb. It's very fingery. There's one crimp on it that it's just tiny and horrible and very nasty. It's like half a pad, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's about half a pad, and then you guys are... I'm open-handing it, but you guys are, like, full crimping it, but you can only fit 2 fingers on it.
You can fit one in a bit and one on a bit, then wrap the...
And then wrap the main finger, but it's basically like a mono.
So what was your highlight today?
Highlight today was... Oh, man, that's hard. Highlight today. Crucifix. Just working out. Working the crucifix. I can tell you the low light was my hip.
That was pretty great.
I've got a really bad injury on my hip, guys. Like, it's fucking awful. It's just the years of dancing and running and doing other things. But, Jesus Christ, man. Like, 2 hours in today, felt it tweaking. Then doing big rock overs on the right leg. Just pushing through. It's like a really sharp pain. So, anyway, talking to Owen, he just made a lot of sense today. Lots of people have been telling me to go to physio for ages because I'm complaining about it for a while. But the way he said it, I don't know, maybe I just needed to be told at the right time by the right person. Like, it was hurting. I was upset that it was hurting because you guys were smashing things and I was like, I couldn't do anything. And then he was just like, look, like, I've had so many injuries basically, and it's worth getting it seen to.
Fuck yeah.
Because he said he'd been to physio and he helped.
It helped, yeah.
Yeah, and you got to think, like, I'm looking at this guy who's approaching 50 probably, maybe he's older, I don't know.
100.
He's 100 years old. He's 100? Whoa, he looks good for 100, you know.
He's a wizard.
He is a wizard, man. But this guy who's older, and he's still pulling so hard. Harder than me. Harder than... Like, climbs so well. And I'm just looking at him like, I just need to be climbing at your age.
How do I get there, yeah.
And this way, I can't climb right now, and I'm my age, and I'm struggling. So I need to get fixed, and then I need to look after myself. It's key, man. I think these things happen, and you just need to sort it out, don't you? I can't ignore it anymore. Anyway, that's the sad bit of the day, but the best bit was definitely the crucifix, working that out, because the Lord himself, the wizard, just helps you push through it, doesn't he? Gives you so many little bits of tips and things. Anyway, what was your best bit?
Fucking tons, but mine's gonna be that I'd made a climb.
Oh my god!
That's good.
What's it called? Putting you on your spot here.
Wait, what were we gonna say? We came up with Fat Pex.
Fat Pex.
Yeah,
that's the name of the climb.
Fat Pex.
It's cool because it's next to or on the same line as the Fat Neck climb. And Fat Neck is a guy that we know from the climbing hangar who has a really fat neck. The biggest fucking neck. And he's just he's an older dude. Owen's with Owen's crew. And he's got a cool climb there. That climb is really nice as well.
Yeah, flows
it really flows nicely. It's got a cool... Yeah, and I didn't know it. So cool that it's his. Like, I never put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
So I'm gonna tell him I did it next time I see him.
But anyway, I went to... Well, the other day I went to Penny Pass with with the Wizards. Then after that, on the way home, the sun was still out, so I went back to Pex.
Yeah.
And that's when I started this thing. And then it just happened today. I didn't think it would happen that... It's not huge, it's not massively difficult. It's obviously my skill set.
Yeah.
And it just today, when I landed it, watch that little footage.
It's amazing. We'll have to post it because you basically, you're sort of doing lots of runs at it, but you can tell they're sort of training runs to get the positioning right, to get you're not really like 100% like really going for it. And then you just stuck it. like out of the blue, and the shock on your face was just insane.
Boss.
Just look down at me, and you're like, oh, that's so funny.
And the other one, 2 bowl for Steve Boot, whatever that bloody.
Oh yeah,
crime
2
is.
bowl for Steve Bootle.
Jimmy Bootle, and
Yeah.
but working that out together.
Oh, that was really. Oh,
Because we've both never done that, because that line, it's always wet.
Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that.
It was really nice though, wasn't it?
I think Heart to Rep might have been my favourite.
Heart to Rep was cool, but these 2 things, anyway, well, Lady
Yeah.
Jane Wall, just working shit out together. It was
Yeah,
really
because
nice,
we didn't
actually.
think. Basically, it rained so much, and the Lady Jane Walk gets so wet.
Yeah.
I cancelled that off in my head, like that we wouldn't be able to explore.
Dried out, didn't it?
But it dried
Like
out
the
so
wizard
well,
said.
and that's what happens when you stay.
Like the wizard said,
Yeah.
it will dry.
He knew.
And he was right.
He knew. He said, "Give it an hour."
So
And we gave it an hour.
We haven't climbed together in ages.
Yeah.
And then today we climbed together for 7 hours.
Yeah, it just happens, doesn't it?
And we get a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
And the other, just before we go on to our little bit, just to say, like, this weekend we've got big plans. I'm hoping for 2 whole days of bouldering.
Oh yeah.
So, but one of those places that we're talking about is the place I already visited last week as well. Because they did Longridge last week as well.
Longridge.
Which,
yeah.
if you guys just
It looks
fucking
amazing.
look at it.
It looks like an eliminate wall, so a wall full of holes at a 20-degree angle, so it's slightly overhanging, like just overhanging enough to be climbable without feeling grim, but also get really fucking strong on it.
And what's well annoying is the landings are great, and it busted Guru's ankle.
Yeah, the landing looked amazing. Like it was just grass, like flat grass, and then Guru Martin, the guy that's taught us everything we know, busted his ankle on like the best landing in the world.
That leads us nicely into our fun sections for topics and
the brand new. All right. Well, what we'll do is give this a quick break because I just want to check the recording's working. We'll be back in 2 seconds.
topic of
Topic of the week. This is the topic of the week. Ba-da-da-da-dum.
Got a topic in my pants.
Got a topic for you, little boy. Topics.
Yo, guys, welcome to Topic of the Week. This is the
This is the bit about topics.
This is a bit about topics.
Do you remember Topic chocolate bars?
Topics? Yeah, with the nuts.
Do you still get them?
Sometimes,
Okay.
occasionally. I've seen one.
Okay.
Yeah, once.
Then what is your topic, bitch?
My topic of the week this week, our topic of the week is
begins with
a B,
ends in
a
A,
and in between it's got an E and a T.
it's a beta.
It's a beta.
Beta.
You a beta, Emma?
Where do you want to start with your beta?
Anyway. Yeah, today's topic is beta. Beta.
Better beta.
Masturbator.
Masturbator.
Beta. Masturbator. Masterator. Flavour of the
Beta.
beta. Right, anyway. About beta. How important is beta?
If you want to keep
So
staring
important.
at me saying about beta,
It's
that's
so,
fine.
this is so intense.
Yeah.
Basically, I want
Define
to do
beta.
as beta is the way you climb up a climb, like the sequence of moves. That was a good place to start. What is beta? That's what beta is, I think.
So,
Would you agree?
So beta is someone offering you
Oh, yeah.
their...
Offering beta. Yeah. There's a few things we could talk about in terms of beta. One of obviously is how important it is. I would say micro beta is a little topic we could talk about. We could talk about beta butterflies, people that just spray beta all in your face and you're just like, oh, I'm sick of all this beta in my eyes.
Or beta bandits.
Beta bandits.
So a beta bandit is someone that sits back, absorbs your beta, wins, and then looks at you and goes, I won.
No.
Beta bandits.
People do that.
That's a beta bandit.
I've never witnessed a beta bandit.
I've heard stories of beta
I think,
bandits.
are you a bit of a beta bandit, actually? Now I think about it.
And I just keep sending things.
You just send things.
Because I'm there for longer than anyone else.
That's a good point. People are beta bandits on you, I can imagine.
No.
Now.
No.
But
yeah.
the reason I wanted to talk about beta is because the Wizard today is so... he's a perfect example of how to properly... I don't know... Just
advise, teach,
advise
guru,
and teach you.
give you beta.
Because, one, he's really polite about it. He doesn't get annoying Also, 2, he's really good, so you trust everything he says. But also, everything's an option with him. It's like, oh, well, this might help you. But he says, also, I'm mega tall, so like...
So you've just alluded to something that's really important in beta that isn't talked about very much. That's the personal. That's the idea that if someone says something to you, we ultimately see it as criticism.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing what he says as a criticism because he's delivering it in a really friendly, Pete-friendly way.
A Pete-friendly
way.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Is like,
it's got to be Pete-friendly.
You're not on the wall and he's going, Pete, but you
that's the difference Pete. As well, yeah.
He lets you do your shit. You come down and he goes, man, if you think about it this way, this could be better for you.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay.
Yeah.
Then you do it and most time it's better for you.
The thing is, and he's just so knowledgeable. Like he literally says. So there's a thing called micro beta, which I've only recently learned about, and it's the way you hold up. Like, so instead of saying, instead of going to this right hold, go to the further right hold. That's just normal beta, like choosing what hold you choose. Micro beta is how you hold that hold. Like, are you going to wrap your thumb? Are you going to, like, I don't know, gast on it or whatever? And then also for feet hold, what way are you going to point your toe? What way are you going to pull on the hold? Are you going to pull downwards? Are you going to pull like slightly to the side?
It's because we're starting to get into a world where we need to actually think like that.
Well, yeah, you really do. Like, that make it or break it moment for a lot of climbs is where you're pulling, particularly on the hold. You're not just trying to hold yourself to the wall. You're trying to push in a certain direction to get to the next thing.
Yeah.
And all these sort of very... I don't know, it's a very outdoory thing, isn't it? Like, it's not... You don't really get much of it indoors because the holds are just holds.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
They're usually designed for one way to hold it.
Yeah, it's designed... Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of saying
it. But well, also, there's... I don't know what the ethics are like. It just depends who you're climbing with. So indoors, you'll get quite a lot of people that like to throw beta at you.
Yeah, that's the difference. Is when you're on the wall, it's not the time to be telling people what to go for. But
then we've talked about other things in the past where it's like etiquette. It's like there's no fucking... Like, we all joke sometimes in our little group about the rule tree.
Yeah.
Like, someone will go, what's the rules for that? And you go, well, we've left the rule tree. It's by the car. You have to go back and check it. But, like, one of the etiquette bits, like, one of those unspoken things, isn't it? It's like, because everyone's got their own take on it.
Yeah.
It's like, for me personally, I don't really like people shouting at me on the wall.
No.
Because it's not helpful at that
It's
moment.
not helpful. No. It's too late at that point.
Unless I'm on 2 massive jugs and I've got all the time in the world, which we're not usually because we're starting to get off jugs now because we're getting bigger. It's like... When you come down off the wall, though, I might be receptive to what you've said.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I might come off it rude because I don't have a fuck. I can't hear.
Yeah.
All I can hear is the fact that I'm not breathing.
Yeah.
And my heart's in my ears, and I'm about to poo myself.
Yeah. And often, you just pull your way through things without the necessary beta. You scramble up through it. You muscle your way through it, or whatever. And it's just not going to help.
But then ultimately, every single one of us has got a slightly different body shape.
Yeah.
So it means what was really noticeable today about beta, and we had a little chat on the mats at the end, was me and you have noted that we do climb, but we've got quite a few similar techniques.
Yeah, very similar.
But then we've also, after today, there's nuances between our climbing. They're so different. Very
small, and going outdoors and pulling on higher graded stuff really shows the difference between us. Indoors, man. We are very similar. It's uncanny because we're a very similar body shape. Yeah. The height is the same. Our reach is basically the apex is basically exactly the same. Our strength and weaknesses are very similar, but there's just a few little things like my hips are a little bit more mobile.
You can open your hips.
Yeah, you're more poppy though, man.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that every time you're popping for the break, you've got more pop? You've got more pop than me for sure. Whatever that is, that more little explosive dynamic. Pow, you're just in the background. Washi! What the?
And I'm like, Pete, you need to do more washa. And you're like, okay then.
And there's not enough washa.
One more washa, you beta. But I don't know. Deep down, I don't really give a fuck if people say shit to me on the wall.
No.
In the moment, no. It's the same as anything. I was thinking about something recently, say like, me and you walk into a room and you knock the cake out of my hand, and that was my cake.
Yeah.
And I'll go, for fuck's sake, Pete.
Yeah.
In that moment, it's annoying.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit 5 minutes later, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But it's like, so if someone says to you...
But no, it's the people that repeatedly do it and you end up just not liking those people, and it's really horrible because they're probably nice people.
Lovely people just don't know how to
but
deliver beta.
I don't like speaking to them.
What is beta though?
Say that.
Beta ultimately is someone who's done something before you, who has an idea of how to do it in a specific way, is trying to tell you their way of doing it. Oh,
sometimes it's not even someone that has done it though.
The wizard today is trying to tell you the 10 possible ways.
Yeah.
But he's trying to understand it in the way that might suit your body type.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the key. He's not just saying how he does it. He's looking at you, and he's trying to, and that's almost getting into coaching realms, isn't it? Because he's looking at us, and he's going, I think it'll work better for you if you do it this way. Because he's so tall, he's like 6 foot, and he's got super long apex. If he showed us the way he does shit,
we'd be fucked.
We just wouldn't be able to do it.
Never learn anything.
So that's the key difference. I think if you are going to be, I think everyone, there's a time and place, and everyone, you don't feel bad about giving beta, but just have a look at, like, try apply it to the person that you're chatting to.
Like climbing, what one interesting lad to climb with is my son.
Your son?
'Cause my son's, he's got short and stature. He's one of the 3 most strong
Yeah,
lads you'll come across, and he's got fingers of steel.
Willie Brignall, for anyone listening.
Follow him on @8 Original.
Oh yeah,
he's shit hot as well. But ultimately though, like there was a problem in Kitty's crag called campusology.
Yeah.
And he his V4 and he destroyed it, flashed the thing.
Yeah.
But then if you watch him climb, he will find his own micro beta.
Yeah.
And he destroys shit.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's the same for all you see it in the extremes, both sides. You see it in the extremely tall people, and you see it in the extremely small people. Those two extremes in our lives,
how can I offer beta sometimes? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And me and him will talk through a problem. I don't go, do that.
No, you can't, because
I can't fucking do it.
Because he just can't reach some of the things.
I can't hold half the things he can hold as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same with Plum, man. She's grabbing onto the smallest shit, like that just aren't holds.
Yeah.
Just grabbing it because that's the only thing to grab, and pulling herself up there. It's crazy, man. So, do you know what would be funny to see is how tall the wizard is. Him and Will doing the same climbs. Like, it would be a great video to have them side by side doing.
There's something on Instagram, isn't
there?
Oh,
is there?
But it's all indoor.
Oh.
Something like that on indoor already.
It'd be good to see it outdoor though, because there's so many indoor. There's not often that many options because the holds are the holds.
But then that's quite.
But outdoor,
doing it though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like short, tall.
Yeah. But it'd just be cool to see that.
So beta for you.
Yes.
So how do you want your beta?
How do I want it? I want it. How do you want
fast?
Your beta in the morning. In my mouth. That's how I want it. Yeah. I just want it after I've done. Like, I don't mind if I fall, but let's talk through it together and sort of like
jive,
just play with some ideas. Yeah. I don't want to be told what to do.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No. I mean, how would you want yours?
I'm trying to learn now. Is that basically what I'm trying to learn to do? Is if someone's on the wall, just try and be motivating.
Yeah.
But then sometimes that backfires. We talked about that today. It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah,
the balance.
It's true. Anyway, I think that balance, you just have to be a normal person to get that balance right. But another aspect of beta we've not chatted about is today, one of the most fun bits was working out beta. That's such a different perspective of just, like, we could just, like, talk about people annoying us, but
I'm sat in front of a climb.
Yeah.
I'm working out. Someone just comes along without saying anything. Goes, what he needs to do is lift your right foot there.
It's so annoying.
Oh, thanks, Jimmy. But
I was like, this is part of my development as a climber as well. Like, working out how we're going to do this. So me and you on Hearts of Ret today, we arrived there, and it's this climb that has 2 side pulls that you gassed on an arete. And then it's got one, like, what we thought was a mono, but we managed to squeeze 2 in there at the end. Like, little pocket.
This is the arete that isn't an arete. It's about 5 metres high. You don't blah, blah. And it's fucking hard.
It's really hard. We arrived there, basically. And I was just describing the holds because I wanted to get across. Man, it's just, it doesn't look like there's much there at all. It's really difficult.
Just tell people Google a thing. Cause we can't give that piece of rock any justice. Like,
no,
it's insane.
It's beautiful. It is, and the shapes of the rock are really nice, like the little micro shapes. But anyway, we arrived there, and I just put the pads down. And I was like, man, we're going to be here 10 minutes because we're just not going to be able to pull on this. And an hour later, we'd made 3 moves on it. Like, after trial and error, over and over again, just discussing different moves, just having a go. And we still not completed it. We're far off from completing it. But it was the most fun, and also I feel like I've learnt the most from that experience. Do you know what I mean?
Today I was trying to find the numbers for it, and I'll get it in a second.
Oh, go on to UKC, yeah.
But, yeah, I loved... And what was so funny was that it was right at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And we were fucked.
Yeah, we were tired.
And it was like these it was the micro beta thing. It was like these tiny micro adjustments.
We really were. Like, we're talking pebbles, like saying, oh yeah, choose this left pebble instead of the right pebble. Like, actually, so the smaller pebble was better for us.
How much more fun was... So, I'm fine trying to get shit done with someone who's like trying to talk you through that's different. Yeah. But there's also the beauty in just finding it.
You've just got to have it all, haven't you? You've just got to have it all.
Just finding it yourself.
Yeah. Anyways.
So basically, no more beta.
Yeah. No more beta.
Ban beta.
No. More.
Beta.
Beta. Beta.
Which brings us nicely to
our average advice of the week. Average advice. Wow. Okie dokie. So what we're going to do is quickly pause. Anyway, we'll be back in a second.
Ain't no love.
Ain't no love.
In the heart of the...
Anyway, average advice of the week. This is the time that one of us comes with a little bit of advice and we talk about it. So
my
Dan,
advice this week
what's your advice?
About falling.
Falling
for you.
Into the heart of the sea.
But ultimately, so it comes down to, this is not like Guru won't... Well, Guru does listen to this. So like this links into the Long Range Adventure this time.
Oh, yes.
So like this Guru's fall was so unfortunate that it was about hitting the edge of a mat. So there's 2 bits to that. One's like mat placement, super important, spot your landing.
Yeah.
But the falling bit for me is that I'm getting really tired of watching people fall really dangerously.
Yeah. Gotta learn to fall, it's important.
Fucking like Guru's thing wasn't a date, it's just dead unfortunate, but even he's a master and he's took a really unfortunate spill. So it's like you're seeing these people that are indoor and outdoor just fucking falling.
Yeah,
all
especially
over the
indoor.
place.
There's no need to be falling dangerously
It's so
indoors.
insane.
Yeah.
But then there's the other side to falling, which falling indicates sometimes that you're trying hard.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. In that documentary we watched earlier, Blockheads, they were talking about highballing and how you've got to change your style of climbing when you're doing higher routes, because you can't like do any toe hooks or heel hooks, because you need to be able to spot when you fall, you need to be falling feet first
to spot the landing.
To look down, make sure your feet hit the pad first, you bend your knees, you do all that, you might roll backwards or whatever, but you do everything you can to get your head away from the floor.
But I'm seeing people fall from 1 metre to 2 metres up. I told you about the little story in Ireland, and someone comes off the wall from maybe less than 1.5 metres up and fucking takes me out.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not trying to like drama. That can happen. And it's like the people around you. It's like I don't get when someone doesn't like, say I'm going to fall. And in that documentary Blockheads, it says that bit about, doesn't it? It's like, how to make the fall better for the people around you. Yeah. So your spotters are so important because they need to protect your head. Yeah,
that's their one job. Basically.
Your job is to try your very best to land safely. Yeah. Stand strong.
So, what would you say is good falling technique?
Obviously. Falling techniques and etiquette.
Yeah. Just technique first, though. Like, how are you... So, you say you're 3 metres up, considerably higher than most people have probably fallen in their life. You know you're coming off. Okay, so job number 1, you pinged off. Yeah, you gotta look down
and what you're landing.
Look at what you're landing on. Yeah. If you're fortunate enough to be landing on a
stop
pad,
before that. Before you go up to 3 metres, have a fucking look at what you're gonna fall on.
That's a good point.
And if you're not confident at jumping off at 3 metres, climb up 1 metre and jump off. Yeah, then climb up 2 metres and jump off.
Yeah, well that's like advice on how to learn to fall in it.
Don't get up to 3 metres if you don't know how to fall.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I'd say, so you're 3 metres up, you pop off. Yeah. Job number 1, look straight down, spot your landing.
Try if you've popped off. Yeah. So your spotters then have to think they've popped off.
Yeah.
But you must know at some point, like, these moves are probably quite
Yeah. These are getting to the limit of my
limits.
ability sort of thing.
So it's like, you know, you people are aware, you've popped off, spot your landing.
Yeah.
For me, I might be completely wrong on this, but like a bend in the knee.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. But
slight bend.
Be fucking solid.
Yeah. So you got to land, feet first,
Yeah.
nice and flat. Bend your knees to take the weight or take the impact of the fall away. And then if you need to...
You can collapse.
Collapse onto your bum if it was hard. But no, you shouldn't need to. From 3 meters, you shouldn't need to. But obviously higher up, 5 meters, you need to... That energy needs to go somewhere. So you go... Your feet, you bend through the knees, drop down to your bum, and then sometimes roll to your back.
That's the important bit. Is like because I haven't done that very much. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I mean, I just seem to land because
you see the parkour guys have got it sorted, man. They change that downward momentum into like movement energy sideways or backwards. So they like if they or forward, they do those forward rolls, don't they? If they've jumped off something massive, they land and we'll always do a forward roll just to take that energy somewhere. It's the same for why like judo. When they when you get thrown to the ground, they slam the mat with a big flat arm, and what it does is it means when their back slams on the floor, it means they roll that they sort of, do you know what I mean? They slam the whole arm down, and it just removes that energy.
Somebody needs to do judo.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say
do judo.
Do judo. Yeah, it's a good shout. But I would say actually, if people wanted to get better at landing, you've got to start jumping more.
Yeah.
So you've got to like go up on like.
They don't advise it in the hangar because it's not insured for that. Obviously, and I get that.
Obviously.
But ultimately, it's like in the hangar though we've seen some fucking gnarly accidents.
Yeah.
Of all places.
Yeah.
It's so super padded that I think some people go. I'm guilty of that as being
you sort
one
of think you're indestructible.
But then I'm spotting it. I'm trying to think about how I'm gonna land, and I'm thinking like there was that gnarly dino out the cave.
Yeah.
In the hangar, and I knew for a fact that if I fucked that up, the landing was so out of control.
Yeah, well, that's also a different beast, isn't it? How do you fall when you're sideways in the air? Like there's very little control in that situation.
And that's you've taken the risk into your own hands.
Exactly. I think we're more talking about people that need to learn to fall when they're
small things.
From small things or things where they're upright and they're completely in control and they can actually turn around and pop off. They can jump off out of their choice. And that's always the best situation as well, isn't it? When you know that you're fucked and you just need to take a deep breath and like spot your landing and jump to a pad, basically. Yeah. But anyway, it's just dangerous for everyone around not really knowing how to fall.
Can you imagine like so the worst accidents? I had the fall and I rolled my ankle.
Yeah.
And like spotted my landing.
So that was your gnarliest fall. Back in Harmers, we did do a podcast. It's like back in episode 14, I think it was.
It's a while back.
But you were what, like 5 meters up? Basically, had a bit of a
wobble, man.
A wobble. I mean, it was one of those where you were having such a strong day, feeling invincible, and I think it was one of those where you flew up it. It's an easy climb. You flew up it. You just looked down and had one of those sudden moments where you were like, shit, I'm not invincible. I'm very high up.
And I had my hand in the wrong fucking hole.
Yeah.
And I was like...
And then you went up to make a move, felt it was horrible, came back down, and at that point you felt like, how high were you up? 4 or 5 meters.
And that's when
then you just...
But I know what to do for that next time. It's like I've learnt a massive lesson off it as well.
But even your fall wasn't a bad fall.
I just rolled my ankle.
It was as in, you didn't do anything bad, you just went straight down onto your feet, but the landing was a bit naff. But we had spotters there. It was everything was right. It was just unfortunate.
Just dead unfortunate. But like, so the two things I've seen outdoors are just 3 ankles I've seen rolled. Yeah. One was Tom walking.
Oh yeah,
between climbs.
In fun.
Yeah. And then
That's
me,
so bad,
and then it's like the dead. But for me and Martin, it was we spotted the landing. We just had an unfortunate landing.
Yeah, man.
But I've seen people that are like in the hangar and like.
The worst fall I've ever seen.
Oh man, that's so grim.
Sam, his first day out climbing, I think. So there's a guy that climbs with us in the hangar called Sam, and we were at Sheep's Pen outdoors on the warm-up block, this is what we were just chilling on it, sort of. No one was spotting him. We didn't have a pad out. Everyone. This is the thing with the hangar days out. We should probably have like back at the hangar before everyone leaves to go to the crag, or maybe when everyone meets up there at first. But because it's such a staggered day, you never actually get a chance to talk to everyone at once. But like, I think the etiquette around spotting should be more emphasised, probably. Just because we were there, and I think it was maybe 80% newbies, really, that don't understand spotting and how important it is, and don't understand the actual real danger of what they're doing at some points, even on the easier stuff. So he was warming up anyway on this like easy 4 or 5 A climb, just sort of relatively easy. But there must have just been 1 or 2 moves in it that are a little bit committing. Anyway, he pops off. There's people spotting other people directly to the left of him, and there's people sort of to the right of him just looking around. So there's definitely 3 people there that could have spotted him. He popped off, landed on his back, and then continued to roll, like maybe 2 rolls, over rocks. Just like over big sort of boulders. And it's just unnecessary, isn't it, really? There should have just been someone there just to stop him continuing to roll. But
then some responsibilities on him.
Yeah, obviously.
But then it's on everyone. So
well,
basically, it's on everyone.
It's on everyone. That shouldn't happen at all. I mean, I'm not saying he's not, like, it's his own fault. He was up there and he got himself into that position without
So basically,
asking
we're outdoors quite a lot now, and I'm outdoors a lot, man.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to really learn, like, every now and then looking up at climbs, and it's like the responsibility's on me, and if I fall, it's my fault.
Yeah.
And some of the worst accidents will be you'll fall over, you'll break your ankle, or probably the worst one would be you'll bang your head.
Yeah, that would be.
And that'd be really bad.
Yeah.
It could be really bad. So for me, the advice, guys, is learn how to fucking fall. I'm trying my best, just learn how to fall.
That's good advice, Dan. Learn how to fall. Anyway, guys, I think we should wrap it up there. I hope you'd had fun listening to the little ramble chat of me. Rambling? I'm just a ramble man. Scramble, scramble.
Good night, motherfuckers.
Good night. Follow me at Pete_Rick.
Follow me at Danko Winterberg.
And follow the podcast and follow Dino Club. Dino Club, I've got brand new t-shirts. If you want one, go to the climbing hangar. They've been selling them on our behalf.
And keep an eye out for
lovely
our
guys over there at the climbing hangar.
Monthly gatherings, as in like get together.
Oh
and
yeah.
Shit out
Hopefully monthly. Just follow Dino Club on Instagram. Anyway, guys, take it easy. Good night. God bless.
Double Dino to micro crimper.
Motherfucking love.